Today at Hotshot Repair, we're going to make this iPhone SE look like this. We're going to start by removing the two Pentalobe screws from the bottom of the phone. You're going to need a Pentalobe screwdriver to do this. We just remove the screws and set them aside. After that's done, we use a pry tool to open the bottom of the screen. As we pry up on the screen, we want to be careful of the home button connector. It connects to the charger port and can be torn by forcing the screen up against it. Now we're going to remove a screw from the battery connector cover. This will let us unplug the battery so that we eliminate power from the phone, and then there's no danger of the display shorting out or being damaged. Now we're going to remove the screws from the LCD connector cover. There's 4 screws in this cover, and you're going to want to keep them organized so that they go back in the same place they came out of. After that's removed, we just unplug the proximity sensor, the display, the touchscreen. Now we're going to remove the 2 screws from the ear speaker cover. We set these aside. They're different sizes, so keep them organized. Once the ear speaker and bracket are removed, we're going to remove the top screw and the bottom screw from the LCD backplate, and then we're going to move on to the home button cover. We just remove the 2 screws from it and set those aside. Then we're going to remove the home button cover and pry up on the home button flex cable, allowing us to remove the home button. Now we're moving on to the LCD backplate. On the iPhone 5, 5C, 5S, and SE, the LCD backplate has 4 screws that are all the same size and can just be removed and set into a pile. After the screws are removed, we're going to pry up on the proximity sensor and front camera and remove the LCD backplate with them. Now we're done with the old screen. We're going to get our new screen out and align the proximity sensor, the top microphone, settle in the LCD backplate, and then screw it back into place with the 4 screws that came out of it. Now I like to start with the home button. We put it back in place. And then I reattach the bracket. We just use the 2 screws that came out of it originally and secure it in place. Now we're going to fold the home button flex cable back up and secure it with the screw that came out of it originally. And we're also going to secure the top of the LCD backplate with the screw that came out of it. Now we're going to line up the proximity sensor and the front camera. And install the ear speaker and its bracket before securing it with the 2 screws. Now we're going to take a look at the frame here and see if there's any bent corners on this frame. We do notice a couple of bends in the lower right and the upper right hand side of it. We're going to use a G-tool to try to pull those corners back out of the way of the new screen. In some cases the bends are too severe and the frame would have to be replaced. On this phone it looks like we can pull them out far enough to get out of the way of the new screen. Now we're going to install the LCD connector, the digitizer connector, and the ear speaker connector. We're not going to connect the home button yet, we just want to make sure the screen works. and give it a test. Now in this SE we notice that the Apple logo does not come on. There's obviously a problem with the display. We're going to try it again. Still no display. Disconnect the battery. Disconnect the ear speaker, the digitizer, and the LCD. Make sure everything's connected. Reconnect the battery. Let's see if it powers on. There we get an Apple logo. So we're going to reinstall the LCD connector cover. Being careful not to use different screws in different holes that they came out of. We want to keep everything as original as possible. So we reinstall all the screws in their original spots. Now we're going to put the screw in the battery connector cover. Now off camera here, you're going to see me reinstall the home button flex cable. You want to be very careful with this flex cable. You don't want to damage it, misalign it. You want to make sure it's connected and that the bracket that came off of it goes back into place. Now this frame is a tight fit for this screen. Took a lot of pressing to get it back into place, so the customer's been warned to take care of it to get a case like a LifeProof or an OtterBox. What we're looking to prevent is the screen coming out of the frame. We want a case that is going to hold everything together. Short of replacing the frame, we're just trying to make this screen work until they have an upgrade available. Now we're going to reinstall the two Pentalobe screws that came out of it. Now we're going to turn on the phone and give the home button a final test. Make sure that the Touch ID works. Make sure that it functions as a home button. And then we're going to hand the phone back to the customer after installing a new screen protector. The screen replacement on this iPhone SE only took about 10 to 15 minutes or so and only cost this customer $35. This repair comes with my lifetime warranty against manufacturer defects that does not cover cracked screens, broken LCDs, or liquid damage. If you have any questions about getting your iPhone repaired, give me a call at 573-567-0527 or visit my website at www.hotshot.repair.